Welcome. You're listening to the Do Video Podcast. Today is Wednesday, January 20th, 2021, and it's Day of Acceptance. Now, embrace your host, Zoe Wood, the Video Confidence Coach.
Do I have your attention yet? G'day crew, it's Zoe, the Video Confidence Coach here, your guide to personal branding. And the reason why I was asking for your attention is because that is the topic of today's podcast. But I wanted to discuss with you the reason why marketers, but also you, should be using attention, or the currency of attention, to be able to build your personal brand. And why you need to focus on attention-related studies, and information and science to be able to give yourself that edge. Let's pass Zoe tell you all about it. You're listening to the Do Video Podcast. What I mean by attention is golden, or attention is the new gold currency, is because attention is what marketers are currently seeking to be able to get people to act. The more attention you have, the more ability that you have to get your cash flow going up. And because the amount of time that people spend on their phones, going through Facebook, going through Instagram, going through Twitter, spending their time with their attention solely focused on their phones. Attention usually means action. And for marketers, that action is hopefully buy. But the reason attention is a currency is because there's only so much of it in the world. There's only so many humans that have enough money to buy your products or services, and there's only so many humans in the world that have a phone that they can stare into forever. And the way that attention is also limited right now is because humans currently have an attention span, so how we can concentrate fully on something, is currently 8 seconds, which yes, is less than it was in about 2005, but I want to let you know this is not inherently a bad thing. The reason for this is attention, the thing that we're focusing on, usually means, or when we were evolving and such, meant life or death. You focused on something to make sure that you didn't die. You focused on something that so you could make sure that you get away. You focused on the horizon for things that could attack you. You focused on, when picking plants because you didn't want to get bitten by a snake. That's the attention we're talking about. And nowadays, for most people, that isn't the case. We don't need to look out on the horizon for danger, and we don't need to worry about danger too close to us most of the time. So we spend that attention on our devices. And those devices is where you and your business need to stand out. Do Video Podcast. So the first thing you do is you always raise burning questions when you start your video. Like me, I did that first thing at the start, and I always do it at the start of every video. It sparks curiosity, which is something that humans can't really turn off. And it also gets people prepared for the video that's coming up. And it also allows you to measure. So in your analytics or your insights, the things that you can see how people far have gone, if you check your video and as soon as you said the question, you see a large chunk of people instantly drop out of your video, then you know the question didn't work, or they didn't find it that curiosity piquing. So what you can do next time is do a different type of question, or show people something and go, wow, what is this? Or however you want to change it up. Sponsored spot. Hey, welcome to the Sponsored Spot. And did you know we have a Do Video Podcast YouTube channel? So instead of listening to my sultry voice, you can look at my face. You don't have to if you don't want to though. If you enjoy audio, then that's fine. But I'm just letting you know in today's sponsor spot that if you do want to see my face, and see some memes and other things related to what I talk about in these podcast episodes, make sure you check out the Do Video Podcast YouTube channel. And also dovideopodcast.com, our website where we hold all our show notes. Okay. You're listening to the Do Video Podcast. The next thing you want to do in your videos to bring in that attention and make sure you grab them within that first 5 seconds is point out commonalities between you and your customer, or in this case, between me and you. So say, for example, what do we have in common? Well, I can guess that you speak English or know of English to be able to understand me. And if that's not the case, well, I don't really have a great accent, but we can hopefully understand each other. And also, hopefully you're human. If you're not, hello, other animal that can understand me. but other things that you can have in common, especially when you're targeting your video to your customer avatar or your ideal customer. So say, for example, the person I'm aiming to talk to, her name is Kim, she's my customer avatar, and you may not be female and you may not be the right age for Kim, but you're still connecting with me and we're still understanding the commonalities between us. So this will pique your attention and keep you watching longer. And the final thing I'm going to mention about attention is making sure that you prove to your client or your viewer that you're not going to betray the trust that they've given you in watching your video. They ultimately have a pain point that they want to solve, and they're watching your video to fix that pain point. So make sure you're open with them, that you're natural around them, that you're clear and communicative, that you're not using any worn-out gimmicks or any clickbait saying, "Ooh, what is this magical thing?" Yes, you can do that on your thumbnails and it gets people interested, and I'm trying it out for fun. But for you and your business, using any clickbait or gimmicky either titles, wording, or anything of the particular video will mean that your video goes down the ranks and people will trust you less because you're not in the first position. Or they're just not going to trust you in general and they're never going to go back to your business. But all in all, to keep people's attention, you need to give them connection and movement. And video does that perfectly. Hey, you've managed to get to this point in the video anyway. Before we end the podcast, I would like to acknowledge and pay respects to the Wadawurrung people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional custodians and owners of the land on which I produce this podcast. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. I stand with the traditional custodians of these lands in working towards a more equal future. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people continue to face discrimination and disadvantage due to our country's colonial past. I stand with them in their fight against injustice. The Do Video podcast and Video Confidence Coach exist purely for educational purposes, and all information provided is of a general nature and should not be solely relied upon to make a branding decision. That's why you get me to consult with you directly. Wink, wink. My email is pod@vcc.training if you're interested. I ask if you like the show to subscribe and give me 5 shining stars on your review on your podcaster of choice. And join the Video Confidence crew by following me on my socials. Links in the show notes below. TLDW, too long didn't watch. Attention is a limited currency. There's only so much of it available in the world, so work hard to obtain your share of it. Pique the curiosity of the viewer, reader, watcher, what have you, by asking really interesting or poignant, curiosity-provoking questions at the start of your videos, but also it helps you link to the viewer by providing commonalities between you and the viewer to be able to get them on your side. And last thing, prove to your viewer, your potential customer or your audience member, that you actually are not going to betray their trust in giving you their attention by using any clickbait or falsehoods in your video creation. What's next? Why not check out our article, or our January 2021 article, for the findgeelong.com.au magazine, where we say, got something to say it with video. It's a great little introductory piece, if I do say so myself, because I may or may not be the author. But I think it's a nice little introductory piece into the world of video, how the landscape has changed throughout 2020, and how it will help you grow your personal brand. I'll leave you to it and hopefully check you out on our next episode, which will be soon, or if you're listening to this in the future, there will be other ones for you to listen to as well. All right, bye.